everyone, it's Donna here, and I am back to show you my latest journal that I just completed. This journal, I believe, is already sold. It was a request, but if it's not what she wanted or she changes her mind, then I will show the purchase information down below. I was asked to do a journal in the vintage grungy style, and this is my attempt at doing that. I really like the way it turned out. I really like doing it, so I'll probably be doing some more. Like I said in my last video, a lot of this is inspired by Sigita, who is Sigita's Coffee Stains, and Susie, who is Creative Cafe Girl. So this one measures, it's a soft cover, collaged with vintage linens, front and back. It measures 4 3/4 this way by 7 inches this way. The cover, the collage on the front is made with, this is one of my Victorian trade cards from the late 1800s. It is an original. I put gel medium over the top of it to protect it, but it's for S. Worthmeyer Dry Goods, Notions, etc. on 2nd Street in Philadelphia. So that was a Victorian trade card with just a collage with various laces, snippets of lace, a mother of pearl button, and there's a mother of pearl button for the enclosure as well. And the collage is on some canvas, some tattered canvas. It's very chunky, as you can see. There are dangles, some dang tassels coming off the edge of it. There are 56 pages front and back, and that does not include the plethora of envelope flips that are in the center of this journal, and you'll see what I mean by that in just a minute. The enclosure is just some lace that hooks over the button, and there's plenty left there if you can expand it if you need to, or you can take it off if you don't want it. So inside there's a pocket in the front with some pretty vintage lace over it. I didn't put anything in there. I had left a couple of spots open for whoever gets this to be able to put their own items in. Excuse me. There's a Tracy Fox label on the front, so you can see what the journal is about. And then very grungy paper. I didn't want to cover this up with that part up with lace because it's nice and grungy. But there's some vintage lace at the bottom here, and tucked inside the pocket you can see the nice coffee staining there. There's a journal card with a snippet of lace there, and then a souvenir card from Fat Man's Misery, Dells of the Wisconsin River. These are probably from the 40s, I believe, that pack. That's just tucked in there. This is a page from a ladies' magazine from the 1800s, late 1800s. Front and back, very cool images there. Just some coffee stained paper, a little fussy cut flower, fancy stitching, another fussy cut flower. Plenty of room for journaling in this journal. This is a page from a poetry book about flowers. To a bed of tulips, and then rose begonias. Some grungy coffee stained paper. Here's one of the tassels up there. And then a Tim Holtz saying, be in love with your life. Then on this side, another pocket with some vintage lace here. And inside this pocket is one of the tags that I made with that beautiful antique lace. I just left it plain because it's just so pretty. You can journal on the back. And then another of my vintage photographs. It's hard to see, but this one is of a soldier. These photographs came in an album that were from the 1940s. They were like World War II. There's a lot of soldier pictures in there. And then a piece of original ephemera from the Miami Beach Kennel Club, 1947. That I got at an auction, a local auction. It was in a scrapbook. Page from a 1920s children's reader. Some graph paper. This is a scan of the back side of one of my not photographs, but postcards, and this one's from 1925. And it flips out, and there's a tuck spot back here if you want to tuck something in there. Piece of very tattered lace up there. Another page from a woman's catalog, and this one is from 1985. A small catalog of fashions. And this page is from that catalog with all women's hats. Piano roll paper. I left this as it was so you could see the words to the song for this paper. Just some tattered lace going up the side of there. And this, I want somebody to help me and tell me what it is. This came, well, it's got a little tag, put a little tag in it. But this came in a bag of linens that I purchased, and I'm not sure what it is, but it's like a little pocket. It's open like there and there. It's got a little chicken embroidered on the front. So if anybody knows what that is, what it's used for, I would love to know. And that just tucks in there. And then on the back side is a vellum tuck spot with some lace and a collaged tag. And then that flips open, and here is just a little writing tablet. The cover of it is an original prescription from 1899. That's an original. And then just little torn pieces of stuff from my scrap bin with some lace at the top. The other side of that, some more of that graph paper. It says, "Be open to whatever comes next" at the top. And all the pages in here have been either torn, distressed, and inked. Some faux vintage tape there. Just a collage on the front of this dictionary page with some lace, some very fine lace in the background, almost like cheesecloth, but this is actually lace. And a collage with a little bit of tatting. Hold on, sip of coffee. Okay. I left these blank for whoever gets it to do their own either journaling or put a picture or whatever. Another one of the tabs. Some washi tape up there. And this is what I was talking about. This is the center of the signature. And this idea came from, I saw it from Robin Dudley Howes. She did a tutorial on it, and I will, if I remember, I'll put a link to that tutorial down below. Several people have done it since Robin did it. She said she got the idea from somebody else, who got the idea from somebody else. So you know how that goes. It opens up. It's held together with lace. And there's a little envelope here with a journaling card inside of it. And that flips open. You've got another envelope, a little airmail envelope with lace on the side and a tag inside of it. And then this is an envelope. This is a scan of an envelope that I got at the antique fair earlier this year, and it's from the Civil War era. There wasn't a letter in it, but it was the envelope, and I thought that was really cool. I had like 5 or 6 envelopes, and I scanned them all. Just some tattered lace and a little collage up here. And then that flips open. This is a seed packet envelope, and in it is another journaling card. And then over here is another envelope with a journaling card there, and that flips open. Just a collage on this envelope. This is a junk mail envelope, and this has a journaling card in it. This is a scan of one of my linens, one of my laces. Over here is a tuck spot, a vintage map of Pacific Ocean, and one of my vintage postcards. This one is of the Gymnasium, Yale University, New Haven, Connecticut. And this one, looking at the vehicles in here, is probably from the 30s, I would say. That's an original. And then that flips open, and there's another journaling card here, and another scan of my lace. And in the center this is an original ledger page from 1883. And I didn't want to cover that up because that's an original. So that just flips and flips and flips and flips and flips and flips. Originally I had this tied with a piece of baker's twine, but I couldn't get it to tie tightly enough. So you can see I cut off the baker's twine, and then I put some lace instead, and now I can get it to tie pretty tightly. And then on the back side of that is where the lace comes around. I was going to cover that up with this envelope that's on this side, but I thought, no, that makes a good little tuck spot, a little belly band kind of. So in it I have a guest check. I have a Victorian trade card of Williamatics Red. That's an original from the late 1800s. And one of the photographs that I have, and it's of a little girl and her dog, and it says Bonnie and Bonnie and her dog at Aunt Sophie's farm. So I think I'm going to call this journal Bonnie, because Bonnie is in it. I like to name my journals. I'm going to call this journal Bonnie. On this side is an altered envelope. It's junk mail envelope. It's just a window envelope that's been folded up. And in the fold there's a little tuck spot with a piece of ephemera in here. Little lace collage on the front of that. And then behind that is another tuck spot with a couple of little journaling cards. And then inside the envelope is yet another journaling card, and it just shows the flower through the window. And behind it is another journaling card, and this is one of my Tundex cards, which I also have for sale. That just tucks in there. On the back side is just a strip of fabric with fancy stitching and some stenciling, and then another grungy piece of coffee stained paper with a tab and more of the tape. Here is another envelope, coffee stained envelope that is flipped from front to back on the bottom of this page, and in it are There's a little tiny flash card and a little vintage greeting card. This one is a wedding for the bride and groom. Looks to be maybe from the 40s or 50s. It came out of a scrapbook, but you can open it up and journal inside. Behind it is a journaling card, and inside is yet another journaling card with a calendar from a public ledger of 1870 and vintage lace on those. And then on the back side of that envelope where it's flipped up, there are a couple more little tucks. There's a Mrs. Cobb image and a German vocabulary card. And tucked in here is another journaling card, and behind it is yet another journaling card with a botanical page. And this is just coffee stained torn paper. On the bottom it says collect beautiful moments, and then here is the fortune cookie for this journal. For those of you who haven't been following me, in every journal I put in a little, I call it a fortune cookie. It folds open, and there's a little fortune inside of there. I just reach into my bag and grab one. I have a bunch of these made up. On this side there's a little tuck spot down here with another vintage photo of a group of, looks like a group of friends. This one was from, oh, it's Kay Marvin and her friends from the 40s. And then behind that is just another piece of paper for journaling. And here's that collage that I did in the last video, inspired by Susie. And behind it, I made it into a tuck spot, and behind it there's a journaling card with some tatting. This is my favorite tatting. You can journal on the back of that. Here's that piano paper. At the top it says live your life. Just a collage of tattered laces at the top there, some washi tape. Here's the back of that lady's catalog with more hats and bonnets, and more pages from that catalog. Really advertising. Another tab or tassel here, and this is just a lace tuck spot, and in it is a library catalog card with some ticking fabric on it, and yet another vintage photograph with, looks like two couples, probably from the 50s maybe. The rest of that children's reader with a really nice image here. Tuck spot with a couple of journaling cards. This is one of Rodote's flowers, one of my labels. More coffee stained paper, another collage at the bottom of this poem, at the close of spring. Some more lace, vintage lace. On a faded violet is this poem. And then this side is just coffee stained paper with fancy stitching and a fussy cut flower. Back of that ladies magazine. And in this pocket I always include some additional papers for either journaling, or you can cover up any page that has images on it. It's just coffee stained, more coffee stained paper, and some tattered, very tattered lace down there. And then on the back is my handmade by label, another pocket with a recipe card, coffee stained recipe card, and another souvenir photo, and this one is Ohio's 241 mile turnpike. And then I'm also including this cabinet card as a writing board that you can put behind, you know, lumpy pages that you want to write on, so you have a hard surface. This is an original cabinet card. It's nice and stiff, and look at her. My goodness, she looks like she's about ready to whoop someone's butt. Look at that face. She did not want to be there. So that is included as well. And there's the back again. So I had a lot of fun making this grungy little journal. It's about as grungy as I'm going to get, I think. But I really like how it turned out. I hope you like it. If you do, give me a thumbs up or a comment. I read everybody's comments. I love hearing from you. And as I said, if this is not sold, you'll see information down below with purchase information. Oh, I forgot to say, at the bottom of the center strings are two vintage buttons. I think they're both mother of pearl. No, this one's got a bling in it. So that's it for today. I'll be back soon. Bye.